Voices. I am Nicole, and thank you once again for joining me. I have my special guest with me today. You've seen her before, and so we are back to talk about some more in-depth personal things that relates to our spirituality, our growth, finding out who we really are. And so today we're going to be talking about fear. And so Mama Seven is can help you with that. And so we are going to get into it with her. Thank you once again, Mama Seven, from a wonderful approach. Uh, Joining us today and sharing your wisdom, experience, and knowledge and expertise uh, in this journey, because this is a real journey for all of us, whether we recognize it or not. Right. So thank you. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. I always love to be reaching out to the people and everything like that. Love the idea of these new mediums and platforms. So I appreciate you having
Oh, definitely. Like this whole movement of mine can't happen without the people that are like, I hold you guys dear. Like, like,
me.
okay, now I'm going to share with you. Somebody
Yeah,
will say, "Oh, how do you know this?" I got people.
I got people. That's
I got
right.
I got people.
That's
Right?
right. That's
And so
right.
now I'm going to unleash those people, my secret
Good,
people, to the
good.
world, because they've done so much for me. So I want to, if people are so inclined, to reach out to these same people
Right.
and see what connection could take place. You just never know with anything, in life. And I remember you saying before, we are in this life, we influence or touch at least 100 people, like
Yes,
have a strong influence on at least 100 people.
yes, yes,
That's a lot of people.
yes. And we never know when they're going to pop up. So it's like I would hope that you're on your best behavior all the time because
Woo!
you
That's,
don't want to influence them. You don't want to be what not to do. You don't want to be that influence. And so it's like we're always hoping to put that best foot forward, you
mm-hmm,
know.
mm-hmm.
But I really appreciate the introduction. I appreciate the ability of even working with you and working with others like you. Um, I know for a fact that this life can be tricky, it can be uncomfortable, it can be a lot of things. And so it gets difficult to kind of see your way through. And that's why it's so helpful to have people, to have staff, to have people that say, hey, it's been a rough day. Can we talk? Do you have 5 minutes? What can I share with you this problem? Because I'm finding out, especially in the middle of this COVID understanding, we are now in an unnatural environment. We're social as a people. We want to talk to people. I'm in the South. We
Yeah,
smile at people.
yeah,
We still ask people how they're doing. We'll be in a grocery store, have full blown conversations with people. And now we're distant. We're
mm-hmm.
6 feet apart. We're covered up. Our faces are covered up. That means our smiles are covered up. Our worries, our concerns, there's so much that's covered up. And so, because of these environments, um, there are a lot of people that are going through things and they don't know how to handle it. And
Yes,
so, these types of ideas and platforms for people where we can just reach out and they can have something in the middle of the crazy
mm-hmm.
is ever so helpful.
Yeah,
Um,
that's really
you
important.
absolutely, absolutely. You said you wanted to speak about fear.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is a real thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's a real thing. It is ever present in a lot of lives. Fear is something. I do a lot of research into spiritual warfare,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I can open my curtain, the birds are chirping, I have healthy children bouncing around. I can look and say, okay, I'm doing good. God has blessed me. I feel good and comfortable. And then, I'll step outside the door and then I see all the craziness of the world. There are things that people legitimately have fears on. Unfortunately, we can just look at the sign of times. There are some people that aren't that have housing issues, real housing issues, that have food challenges. Some of the basics people are missing, and it can create fear.
Mhm.
Once fear is in place, we're not really thinking anymore.
Yeah.
We're just reacting. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm like, well, why didn't you think about this? Why didn't you do that?
Mhm.
I don't know. And the I don't know is real. That's because fear has frozen us. We're trapped. They say frozen in fear, like a deer in headlights.
Mhm.
Once that fear comes into place, we can't think anymore.
Mhm.
So no matter what the situation is or what we're going through, you can't get to the fear part.
Yeah.
You can't get to where fear has you completely, and you can't think, and you can't breathe, and you can't anything. And so there's constantly ways that we're trying to be, not have this fear, you know. And so first, I want to validate the feeling. Okay, I
Mhm.
want you to know the fear is real.
Mhm.
Now, some people, I'm like, toughen up. I want you to fight that a little bit harder.
She does.
I do say it, okay? I will say, toughen up. You can fight that one, okay? I feel like that mom on the kindergarten playground.
Get
Just
back
fight
out
them
there.
back.
Get
I'm
that
not
out
taking
there.
y'all to the office. No, no, hit them back, okay? And
Mhm.
so that there's those times, and then there's times when you need some help. It's like, I am in a situation I can't see my way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need some help. I need someone. I need someone for just tell me it's going to be better. It can get better.
Mhm.
How do I begin to start putting those things in place? And it can be very scary. It can be overwhelming. This is where anxiety comes in. There are people that are having panic attacks, depression, those very debilitating things come in.
Mhm.
People can't move. I'm
They
stuck.
cannot.
I can't
They
move.
cannot. And for me, one of my favorite things is to slap an oil on somebody, right?
Right.
Or and so what I've even learned when you're talking about anxiety, especially right now, there's so much uncertainty, from start to finish of this year, all of these things start creeping up, right?
Yeah.
And for me to help with my own coping thing, because at one point I was just like, this is not life. Like I am in a movie right now, right?
Yeah.
I was using my oils to help, whatever. It was a temporary fix. I felt good, but there's still that underlying fear. And it was like the fear, of course, starts in our mind.
Yes.
In
And
a
that
lot of cases, right?
and that
It starts
we
in
have
our
to
mind,
that we have to battle it in the
right?
mind. Yes.
And so when you uh, come out of that fear box just a smidgen, and I'm speaking from a personal experience, it is a fight every single day to stay out of it. It's exhausting because,
Yes.
like, okay, I've gotten out the fear box, for this hour. And
Yes.
I see, oh my God, how much better I feel, how much more positive I'm thinking, how much more I see of a light at the end of the tunnel. Great, let me keep on that path. But we have a tendency as humans to then go back into that fear box because something derailed us. Somebody said something to us that made us
Yes.
second guess ourselves, or
Yes.
make us continue to think in lack, right?
Yes.
And so then we're back into this fear thing. I will tell you, like, it is a struggle. Like, there's a spiritual warfare, yeah, is going
Yes.
on live and well,
Yes.
because every day I have to set the intention. Every day I have to talk myself out of
Yes.
not having, because it's we've known and loved fear for so much, and I say we've loved
Yes.
fear for
It's a
so much.
relation. It's a relationship.
Exactly. We don't
Yes.
we don't want to break up with it because it became our safe haven, if you
Yes.
will. And I'm gonna raise my both of my hands because
Yes.
that's what I'm coming out of.
Yes.
Still in
Yes.
it, but I'm coming out of it, and it was just like, the hell was I doing all of this time?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
whoa.
Yes. Let me tell you about the other side of fear. And we're not there yet. Let me tell you about the other side of it though. The other side of fear, you will sit back and be like, what was the problem? What were you afraid of? What was the worst case scenario? Because this is nothing. This right here is nothing. But we are full fledged. Oh my God, I'm not gonna make it through. I'm not gonna make it through. I promise when you go back and look at it in the rear view, you'll be like, that's a speed bump. I was acting like it was Mount Everest. Now
Yeah.
we're not there yet.
No, we're
So
not.
let's talk
Definitely
about
not
where
there.
we are.
Let's go back.
Let's go back. I just had to let you know.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the other side of this, you're gonna be like, I can't believe that was even a problem.
Oh,
Okay,
right, right.
right.
So it's
But
those
right now,
troubling things that we keep tripping over. Or
yeah,
as for me, I peak on the other side of fear.
yeah,
I'm peaking a little bit more, but again, it's the struggle because even when I peaked a lot, on the other side of fear, yeah, I still go back because that has been like pretty much bred into my DNA,
yeah,
and the reprogramming process is stressful.
yeah.
It's
Let
very
can we talk?
stressful.
Can we talk about a minute for the different types of stress? Okay,
Yes, yes.
because I want everybody to know exactly what we're talking about. You can be stressed behind a job. You can have work stress. Like either you're not performing well. You can be stressed that you may not have the job for very long.
Mhm.
You can be stressed the job isn't paying you enough, like you may be wasting time or whatever. So there can be workplace stress. You can have financial stress where the bills are not equal, the money coming in is not equaling the money going out.
Mhm.
And so that creates a level of stress. You got stress behind children, either children doing well or wanting children or not wanting. Any issue can create this stress, relationship stress. I don't have a good relationship. I do have a good relationship. No matter what, we can create stress wherever we are.
Yeah.
And the stress is strong because the stress knows the part that we're worried about. And so when you're battling it, it's hard to battle and fight against something that knows you
Mhm.
so well.
It's like, wait a minute, let me take care of that real quick. Yeah, and so what pinged me in my spirit was the work stress. And
Yeah.
so many people don't know, like well, I guess maybe 5 years ago now, I was with an organization for 10 years and was fired um, for the first thing in my life. So that was its own stress because I was like, oh my God, what do I do? But leading up to that, there were so many things saying, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go. People, you need to go, you need to go. Like, you need to be doing something different. Da, da, da. I didn't see it because I was already trapped into my own brain and I was comfy and cushy. You know,
Yeah.
I knew everybody. It was cool.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
the organization. I liked what I did. I liked what I was learning. It was a brand new position that I hadn't even thought that I was gonna be able to have. Right. And so then the next day is like, oh God, what am I gonna do now? Fear, just fear, fear, fear all along the way. I stumbled, you know what I mean? I definitely had a great support system to help me out, looking for different types of things. But that was me being the wayward child and
Yeah.
not paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing because I was letting this fear keep me complacent,
Yes.
keep me from not moving, keep me from not even exploring other
Yes.
realistic opportunities. Or I couldn't see the possibilities
Yeah.
out there because my mind was so very trapped. Mind you, years before, everything comes back around if you haven't fully realized it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a negative or a positive. And there are things that I had thought about in my life, like I want to do this, but I didn't do it because fear. Even this show right now, the fact that we are doing this and I am 4 episodes or 6, I don't even know where I'm at now,
Yes.
was a fear, a whole fear for 5 years.
Could not believe it. Couldn't believe it. And now on the other side, you're like, what was I afraid of? I tell you, you always say, what was I afraid of?
What was I
What
afraid of?
problem?
I don't know. What would I think somebody was going to do to me? I don't know. I
Right.
don't know. And it was, I don't, and so we can talk about the fear of success, right?
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
know what
Breaking
to
down the
do.
fear. Yeah. We have to talk about the fear of success.
And so for me, I think it was a little bit, for me, it was being seen. Um, uh, a light on me because then there's a new expectation. There's a new obligation to keep this standard, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. whatever. We've seen our celebrities and public profile people fall flat on their faces, and they still succeed, and they still, you know what I mean, are thriving or being a
Yeah.
positive influence. But yet
Yeah.
and still, we don't think that can be us because,
Yeah.
oh, there's only a certain group of people that think that. As
Right.
Mama Seven likes to say, stinking thinking. And
Thinking.
and so that fear just holds us where we are, and then when it's taken, and then so that the rug is like literally taken from you, now what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Yeah. Let me tell you about being frozen. You can be as frozen as much as you want to be frozen.
Tell
God
them.
is not going to let you stay there.
Tell them.
Your ancestors are not going to let you stay there.
You're who?
And
Tell them again.
Mama Seven is not going to let you stay there. No one, you don't get to stay there. You don't get to stay frozen. The fact that you woke up this morning means you're supposed to be evolving,
Yeah.
and growing,
Yeah.
and changing, and building. And so even though you may have had the A++ yesterday, today's a new day. It's a new grade. It's a new everything. So yay, A++, that's wonderful. But today's today, so now we have to work on where we are today and what's needed for today. Okay. So what we needed to get to A++, obviously we already had. You don't know what today's challenge is, and so we have to continue to work more. We can't ever get comfortable, we have to, and sometimes that the fear wants us to be comfortable. Oh, don't try that, it may not work. Or don't do this. And so that fear is constantly saying and whispering to us, stay still, stay quiet.
You know this
stay
already.
stay
You
yeah
know
yeah
this.
yeah
You don't know
yeah
the unknown. So why continue to stay there? Because I'm unhappy. I'm not being fulfilled in my job or whatever respective area, and it's like, well, this is what you know. What was the saying? Deal with the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Whatever that whole
Somebody said that to me. And I'm like, I'm not choosing either one.
Right.
There's got to be another option.
There's
got to be another option. And so this is a wonderful approach, because when I was trying to understand what I was doing, was it this, was it that, or that, I said, I just want it to be wonderful. How do we go about creating wonderful, not, I'm talking about win-win all the time. And sometimes you got to think hard for the win-win. You got to think again for the win-win. Win-win might mean I have to do all kind of things to get win-win. I may have to be quiet. I may have to be loud. I may have to be on video. I may have to do anything. But my thing is to be wonderful,
right.
And so it takes effort to do that.
It's a lot.
You have to put a lot in.
A lot.
Because the win's always there. You can always see the win. How do you go about making it wonderful? And that is what we do. That's what we're trying to do. Fear is not wonderful.
Yeah.
Fear makes you feel bad. Fear is full of guilt and shame and outdated thinking. It's outdated. It doesn't serve the purpose anymore. So what we have to do is say, no, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to live with this. I'm going to find another way to do this. The only way that I know how to deal with fear, because I don't have a lot of fear in my life, but the fear I do have is like, I can't go no further. I can't go no further.
Yeah.
The only way to deal with fear, the only way, is by having something bigger and stronger in your life. And that is God.
It is. It is.
That's the only way to deal with it. That's the only way.
Yeah.
You have to know God. You have to trust God. And you have to have whatever that signal is. I need some help. Whether it's a whistle, some prayer, a special meditation. I don't care what it is. It's a signal. I need some help. There have been times I'm like, God, I can't see my way clear. Tell me, I need some help. I'm gonna need you to come and get me. That's what I told myself. I need you to come and get me.
I like that one. Come and get me.
Come get me.
Or go get them.
Right. And I swear, when I say things changed immediately, It was boom, 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 boom. It changed because I had the expectation to change. I knew it was going to change. I knew God was going to come get me. I didn't have to worry. It never dawned on me that he might be late. Never. Like they say, he's always on time.
Yeah.
It never dawned on me that this opportunity might be missed because God wasn't going to show up. I knew he was going to show up.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be there to save me.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't worry about those things because I knew it. I could see it. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that kind of trust in God, then that allows you to be freer in other places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then you don't, because like you say, then you have no room for fear if you're trusting in God. So let's talk about that because we all struggle with it, trusting God more when it's like it should be an automatic, right? But it's not. And we think when we're saying we're trusting God, we're not really doing it. Like, what are you trusting God to do? Or how, are you, it's like, lay your burdens down, right?
Yes.
But you can't pick them back up and say, here's some for you and some for me, God, and let's work this out together. God's like, no, give it to me.
Yeah. The biggest
away.
Yes. The biggest thing I had to learn about God handling a problem for me was that God was going to handle it the way God saw fit to handle it. And I had to really divorce myself from the way God chose to handle it. So, cause I'd be like, oh God, I need you to handle this, but handle it on Tuesday if you don't mind, because Monday, I did have plans on a dinner date, and so if you could like not, I'd like the dinner date on Monday. If you can handle it on Tuesday, that'd be a better day for me. And so, no, God, if you don't mind, I don't want to have to worry about this, that, or the other. Could you handle it quietly? Because I don't want everyone in the neighborhood to know that God just had to come and handle something, okay? And God's like, no. And then I was like, God can I have about 3 more months in this crazy situation? And I know it's crazy, God, and I know I shouldn't even be asking for no 3 more month extension on something that is crazy, and I shouldn't have been here in the first place. But no, baby, hand it to me because you already can admit it's too big.
Yeah.
You can admit it's too messy. You can admit it hurts, doesn't feel good. You can admit that this is really a problem. I need you to hand it to me and walk away. And getting to that point where you trust God to handle it and yourself to walk away, that's a lot.
That is a lot. So how do we do that?
Practice. Practice makes perfect. You have to practice. You have to practice trusting God a little bit. Don't wait until God, I'm trusting you with the mortgage. Don't wait for that. Okay? Don't be talking about Jesus take the wheel and we in the middle of rush hour traffic. Okay, let's not do that. We got practice a little bit. Practice going to God. How about that? Can we start even having the relationship where we feel we can ask God for things? There are some of us that are like, oh, I don't want to ask God for anything. I'm like, why? He has everything. Why would you not want to ask the person who has absolutely everything for anything? I don't understand that.
I don't understand either.
So we have to kind of get out of our own thinking when it comes to that. We think with our limited self, we're humans, we're young.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask with our limited self, hey, God, can I have something? And God's like, I don't even understand that quantity that you're speaking of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You need a Drozac, a Wigzac. What is that? You know what I'm saying? I don't even think on it. I think of frequency. Tell me what's wrong. So I can try to come into your life and fix it. So trusting God is an everyday process.
Yeah. I definitely, I'm working on that for sure, as we all need to continue to work on. And so one of the fun, lighter things I like to trust God in is, say I'm going downtown where I need to find parking or someplace, right? And so I set the intention, like, while I'm like, oh God, please let me get a good parking space. Like seriously. And it happens every
Mhm.
single time. I'm in front of the building, I'm not too far or whatever, because I'm setting that true intention. This is what I want. And
Yeah.
know that God wants to answer all your heart's desires. He already knows, like, just ask for it, dummy. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, let me just get a close enough parking space and
Yeah.
boom. So that's in my mind a
Yeah.
small way to start to trust and see and watch
Start
it happen.
trust. Start the trust. Some of us have these negative self-fulfilling prophecies. Okay. Oh, anything you say is a prophecy. And then if it's negative, it's a negative self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Oh, that can't happen. You've already exited out the door. You've already robbed yourself from the opportunity of that happening because you just said, oh, that won't happen. Just like with Jesus was speaking, I believe, with Paul, and Paul was starting to walk on water, and he said, I can't believe I'm doing this. And then immediately started to sink because his belief was gone at that point.
Right. Right. Right.
So if we don't believe, then it doesn't happen.
Yeah. We call
And
God. God gets. We get in God's frequency.
yes,
I mean, literally aligns right up. So yeah, we can
yes,
tell. And so when people start talking about, oh, I can't wait for this, or I can't wait for this, right? I stopped saying that because I can't is a
yeah,
negative word. So I
yeah,
start saying I'm looking forward to. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
like consciously changing how I speak because I
yeah,
understand the power is in the tongue. We can speak life and death
yeah,
with our speech, with our mind.
yeah,
I mean, in every facet. And not everybody has adopted that concept yet, but it's like we paid
yeah,
attention and what you thought about. You know what I mean? Like somebody say, well, I'm not going to get this job. I'm not going to get this job. Okay, then you're not going to get the job.
yeah. Period. You've already put it out there. Even if you apply for it, even if you're wishing it, when you start speaking that negative word,
Yeah,
it starts happening.
I did it
One
to
thing,
myself.
yeah, one thing I changed about myself. One of the words I stopped saying was, "I love you to death."
Yeah. I gotta work on that. Yeah, I gotta work
I
on
love
that.
you to life.
Love you to
I love
life. Yeah.
And so that was one thing. I mean, I just changed this maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a sister, I said, oh, I love that to death. Like, love the life.
Love
And
to
I
life.
was like, a man. And then it brought me back to the idea of a seed, a fetus, something, and loving it to life, bringing the fullness of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started thinking about death. Death is the ending, is the finality of it. And I was like, no, I'd much rather be loving this to life. I'd love to put that energy in it to watch it bloom and have all the potential and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something small, loving something to life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, absolutely. I want to bring that into the idea, into my mind, into my heart, into my everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, just changing our wording. But that fear is one of those things where you need a partner with, okay? Because the fear already knows you,
Mm-hmm.
fear may not know this partner.
Okay. Yeah, because our
And I
fear is
tell people,
individual.
look, tag team it.
Yeah,
Tag team it.
that's it.
I do a lot of journaling myself. I encourage those around me to do a lot of journaling. We're always, I can always find a reason to write, okay? I tell people, oh, I got this great idea. I'll be back in an hour. I got to write about it. They're like, you write? Yes, I write about everything.
Yeah, you
And,
have.
you know, I'm constantly saying, hey, what would you do if you weren't afraid?
Mm.
What would you do if you had limitless money? What would that thing do? And I remember a woman asked me this, let me see, maybe 11 years ago. I was going through a midlife crisis, and she said, what would you do if you didn't need money, if you didn't need anything from anybody? What would you do? I said, I would help people. I would talk to people. She said, well, then that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then from that point on, everything shifted into counseling, into behavioral health, into everything in my life switched into that. And I was content and happy and fulfilled because I moved past the fear. And I had to let go of the 6-figure job but that six-figure job was killing me. Okay, I didn't realize it.
Mhm.
I was balding. I mean, it was not cool.
Mhm.
I changed my whole lifestyle so that I could really focus on myself, on God, on helping people really. And from that point, I was able to move, and I did it with no fear because I knew no matter what financial position I was in, even the best financial position,
Mhm.
this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it's been 100% accurate ever since,
Wow. Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's like, how many of us are living this fearless life? Fearless. What would you do if there was no fear?
Mhm.
What would you say? How would you feel if you weren't afraid of anything?
Mhm.
Not society, not societal norms, not what um, family traditions say. Not, what would you do if you were not afraid? No backlash, no nothing, just what?
Right.
And then that is your life mission.
Nice. That's the most simplest way that you just wrapped it up in a beautiful bow
Yes,
and said here.
yes. Now
You,
take this little caterpillar, go ahead, wrap yourself up in a cocoon, take however long you need to get it,
yeah.
and then come out a butterfly.
Model butterfly. No, you're absolutely right. And I think of, children. We talk about fearless, right? Children.
Yeah,
I love watching them. They don't care about falling. They don't
no,
care about jumping off of things. And I think one of my godchildren, she would climb the walls, like literally
yeah,
climb the walls. I mean, and I'm
yes,
like, oh, and she, she's your acrobatic little girl. And I mean, and it was just like, this
yes,
has
yes.
no fear.
None,
Like that's what
none.
you want to bottle up and sell.
Yeah,
And our
yeah,
kids, come from that understanding, out of the womb.
yes, they do. I
But
have seen kids eat mud pies out of
yeah,
real mud. I'm
yeah,
like, no, no, baby, I think you're supposed to pretend eat that. You're really putting that in your
no,
mouth, okay?
no.
They don't care. I mean, they are just, and I'm like, how come your mouth has not fallen off yet? How come? Why? Because they're protected, because God is protecting them, because they're living in a different frequency.
Yeah,
They're not living in our same frequency. We
yeah,
can't do half the things that they do
no,
because our frequency is not that open. We're not that open to the universe. You know what I'm saying? So, 100%. I learned so much from them about fearless. And then I also learned from everyone I've ever spoken to what fear is. You know what I'm saying? And it is absolutely crippling. And
very,
we have got to move past it.
very.
But it takes more than words to get past
Mhm.
fear. It's an action. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
we
an
have to be able and willing to move, literally move from here to there
yeah,
to get past the fear. We can't.
yeah.
I know people that say, "Oh yeah, that's the problem." I'm like, okay, we'll move away from it.
Right.
Well,
But that change, that's this the C word is the bad word, the change. And years ago, when you're in the work environment, right? That
yes,
change word was a very bad word because people don't know how to deal with that. So they started saying using paradigm shift, right?
yeah,
I re-
okay,
I remember that. I
yeah,
remember that management training, and I was like, "Are
yeah,
you kidding me?" But it's
yes.
a real thing.
They
And
had to because people were literally afraid
yeah,
of change.
being very
The word change, the interaction, everything
yeah.
that they couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then the concept of change is like, oh my gosh, so
Yes,
if you need to get out of that job, get out of that relationship, get out of that city,
yes,
get out of your own mind,
yes,
it can be
yes,
very scary, but it's like, do you understand this is necessary for you to
yes,
do in order for you to continue to succeed on
yes.
whatever you're supposed to do? And like I said,
I
take as long as you need to, but do something. But again, you have free will, you ain't gotta do nothing if you don't want to.
right.
However, you'll feel much better
And you're
understanding.
and you, what is for you, and you will have.
Yeah.
But I'd like to have some of my flowers while I'm young,
Yeah,
and
me
I can
too.
still smell. Okay,
Me
I
too.
want some of the rewards and stuff now, where
Right.
I can enjoy them
Right.
before. I'm old and my grandchildren are trying to take my rewards from me. So I got aggressive children. I can only know what their children are going to be. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So,
so
it
scary.
is that I know many people that are stuck.
Yeah.
They're stuck in their cipher. They're
Mhm.
stuck in their old way of thinking. They're stuck in that, this is what victimization,
Yeah.
victim mentality, and everything else like that is. It's truly because we have become stuck in where we are and we don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? We've made our minds up. This is it. This is
This
what
is
we got to do. And that's so not it. So many times God will send us a life jacket. They'll send us a boat. He'll send us all kinds of things to get us off that island. But our brain has told us in our smallest way, we belong here.
yeah.
You belong with fear. And the reason why you have to be careful is because fear is its own energy. It's sitting there, it's eating off of itself.
Mhm.
So if you evolve, you're like, oh yeah, I'm grown. Okay. But that fear buddy that you had is now starving. It may starve totally out. Just like those two wolves. You got to know which one you're going to feed and which one you're going to starve.
Yeah.
And so here we are. If we are starving out negative energy like fear, if
Mhm.
we're elevating past, where we were to where we're going to be,
Mhm.
there are some energies that will go lacking,
Yeah.
but they need to go lacking.
Yeah.
Arrogance, pride, all of that stuff, let that go,
Mhm.
because it doesn't serve a higher purpose.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are higher things that we can be worried, that we can be spending our time with.
Yeah. Holding whatever animosity or
Yeah,
whatever you're holding, like what it's the fear of letting it go. Like, what do you think? Again, what do you think is gonna
that's right.
happen?
That's
Other
right.
than you'll feel 1,000 pounds lighter,
Yes,
and you may
yes,
fall off someplace and be fine.
yes,
Well, we think we need to hold these things on as a crutch
yeah.
to what?
Well, we've allowed it to define ourselves.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they hold on in a fearful way because it's defining me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to know how high up this mountain I've climbed, because I started at such a low valley. And
Mhm.
I'm like, look, you can let go of that low valley reference if you want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
That's not even, that doesn't even have to be part of your makeup, part of your introduction. You can just say, I've evolved. You don't have to say from where, everything else. But that gives validation for some people,
And
for
credibility.
some,
Feel like it gives, and then I understand that 1,000%, but yeah, just like what you're just saying right now is like, no, that's what you did. What are you doing now? Who you're
where,
aspiring to be or
what
working?
they say, it's not where you from, it's where you at.
Where
You
you
know,
at?
is
Right,
where you at.
right.
What are you doing now? What are you
Yep,
building now?
yep.
And if you are in the same place you were in 5 years ago, you need to talk to me. You need to have a real conversation. And Nicole will tell you I'm not easy on these conversations, but we have a real conversation
Very
because there's no way in the world you should be where you were 5 years ago.
yeah,
Nowhere. No way.
very honest conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Um, because what we start to understand is that you're not being honest.
Yeah.
And so that honest conversation with Mama Seven is gonna get your life together. It's not gonna be easy.
Mm-hmm.
However, your blueprint will look a little bit clearer.
Yes.
To be like, oh, you'll have that burst of relief, like,
Yes.
okay, I can do something. Like I don't know what it is, whatever it is, and it's just like a light goes off.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
mean, like I can do something different. I can do something. No
I
one
can't.
said I couldn't. No one is at my door with a gun to my
Right.
head saying, "You got to stay right here, right now."
Right.
It's
Right.
us holding ourselves hostage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For
Like
what? For
what?
what? There's not going to be any awards given for a person that can hold the most fear. Okay, there is no awards on that. Okay, the
No.
person that can suffer the longest, there's not an award for that.
Yeah, yeah.
If anything, God would be like, baby, I never intended you to suffer like that. That was not the plan.
Mhm.
Why did you not take advantage of all of the signs and symbols? We talked about signs and symbols.
Yes, you
Why
did.
did you not take advantage of all of those things that I sent for you? And you chose to suffer. The life I have for you is full of abundance and joy and happiness and achievement.
Mhm.
Why would you choose to suffer?
Mhm.
That is not the life I have for you.
It's not, and we think that because it's like, so you have all these types of systems that were created, right? And you have the caste system, and you have, you know what I mean? You have the
Yes,
capitalist society here in America,
yes,
and it's
yes,
like, oh, you have the haves and the have-nots. You have the upper
yes,
class, upper middle class, lower middle class, low
yes,
class. And so down here, people are not thinking that they are even in the realm of possibility to even go to the
yes,
next class.
yes, yes,
And it's like
yes,
you can. I mean, not
yes,
everybody's gonna get there.
yes,
You can try something different, and
yes,
it starts here, like or paying attention to that thought that keeps coming into your mind, like,
yes,
oh, when you start imagining things, you know, for no reason, take inventory of that.
yes,
And I don't care where you are. I don't care if you got 29 cents in your bank account.
yep,
I don't care. I don't care where you are. Even if you have these dreams, we all have dreams. That's what we do.
yes.
Okay, and ask how. Okay, how can I make that happen? Or who do I need to be in touch with? Or
What's the
put me in
first
a
step?
place. Put
Yeah,
me in places where I need to be and take me out of the places I don't need to be.
yes.
Those have been my prayers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I know I need a village. Uh,
Right.
so it's like, okay, God, continue to put the people in front of me that I need to be in front of, who are going to help me, and I'm going to help them. Like this is an even exchange. This is what we're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing in this life. Help me move past this old thinking. Help me do X, Y, and Z. Help me to trust myself, because
Amen.
that was a major thing for me. I didn't trust myself, like,
Mm-hmm.
at all,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because of what I have allowed before
Right.
infiltrate me. And so it's like, yeah, I'm second guessing everything. Like, no, girl, your time has passed. You don't need to be doing this. You don't need,
You'd be surprised
nobody said
where
nothing.
the fear comes from.
Yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
surprised. All the fear doesn't even belong to you.
Does
All the fear may not have been yours. It may have been inherited to you, you
learn
know,
that.
passed down to you, taught and educated to you, indirectly and directly. You'd be surprised as to the origin
Mhm.
of the very fear that we have.
Mm,
So if it's not your fear in the first place, really,
yeah.
why do you have it?
Why? It's not my junk.
Is that my junk? Is that-
That's one of the things you start to learn when you're dealing with a wonderful approach from Mama Seven.
Yes,
She's gonna
yes,
help you divide the laundry, right?
yeah, yeah,
What do you got to clean up, and what do you don't have to clean up?
yes, yeah,
And if you're interested in that, no, there's a whole exercise on it.
yeah, yeah.
But it's very telling. And so we live through experiences, right? We
Yeah.
adopt different things based on experiences. So having in those tangible things are really important, because then it helps us look at the intangible that really needs to be touched on. And so when we have those, and a friend of mine, I was with a friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about the Christmas lights and everything like that, and how her son didn't want to go, but then when he got there, he was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly how that works.
Yes. When you open yourself up,
Yeah, yeah.
it's about opening yourself up.
Whole new cookie jar, a whole new amusement
Yes,
park of possibilities. Some
yes,
rides you didn't even think that you can get on. Like, say, I get on all the rides.
right, right.
I'll get in the most daring roller coaster. That's me. And I
Awesome.
only get on all of those first. Like, I had a whole
Uh,
strategic plan. Like, so this is life, right? Had a whole strategic plan. I get in the park, go to all my rides, all my roller coasters, and then maybe I'll go on the Ferris wheel, or maybe I'll go and do this.
yeah,
Life, it's like, once you understand that you can step on the other side of fear,
yeah,
all of those rides,
yeah,
you can get on them. You can try it
yes,
out. Like, no, I don't like that.
yeah, yes.
But try
But
something.
guess what? It didn't hold me.
It,
I didn't have to be fearful for it. I didn't have to say, "Oh my goodness, I'm not going to make it," or anything else like that. Those didn't have to come into play, because you already knew I'm going to be okay. No matter what, I'm going to be okay.
right, right. I'm a stumble, as you say, fall forward. But
Fall
we're going to
forward.
make mistakes. We are humans. We are going to make the trial and error. What is
That's
it?
right.
My gosh, I forgot what the number of times Steve Jobs, how many times he, quote unquote, failed before Apple became Apple. But it's
Right.
like, yeah, we're going to continue to make mistakes until the day
Yeah.
we close our eyes, because
That's
that's
right.
what the evolving process is. That's what
That's
the
right.
awareness process is. So
That's
we're
right.
not going to try different things. And again, me, and the first conversation Mama Seven and I had, yeah, you need to take more risk. Huh? Why? It's comfy here, and I was dead serious.
Yes.
I'm good. No, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So, okay.
And no, you're not. You're here for more. And
Yeah.
still trying and wrapping my head around that. It was like, I mean, I'm doing more now because I'm allowing myself to do things
Right.
differently, be more vulnerable. Like this platform right here, tell
Awesome.
all my business. My partnerships with my wellness partnerships. Yeah, I'm telling you all my business and things that I were not doing because, again, I don't know why I was fearful of it. I don't know.
Right. Right.
What you gonna do to me that I
Right.
probably already haven't I've already done to myself? I've already
Yeah.
done the negative talk. I already kept myself at base someplace.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Can't do
Yeah.
anything else to me.
Yeah.
And so when we start understanding that just in a small area of our life, then we can start applying it to bigger parts of our life and be like you said, what was I waiting for? Why
Right.
did I do this?
Yes.
Fear.
Yes. Fear.
That is like they need to take it away from the language of
I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. I say I wish I could share my eyes with other people so
me
that
too.
they could see what I see,
Yes.
because what you're seeing and what I'm seeing are two totally different things. This is why we can go to the movies. One person is a tragedy, the next person is a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's because we're interpreting things differently.
Mhm.
But when you are coming from that fear base, that stinking thinking, I'm like, hey, hold up. Something smells and it's not me. So I need someone else. What's going on here?
Mhm.
Why? Why do we have to be low and belittle and treat ourselves that way? What would happen if you were not afraid
I love it.
of anything? And what
Mhm.
would you do? What's the first thing you would do? Someone said, if I wasn't afraid of any backlash, I'd have that conversation with my whoever about how they hurt me. That's what I would do.
Mhm.
I'm like, have the conversation.
Have the conversation. Like what
Speak
what,
it,
what are they gonna do?
write it, whatever you got to do. But if you were like, there's something though, I got one person I would tell them, and I would tell them this, and I would tell them then.
Mhm.
Tell them.
Mhm.
Find a way to get that off of you,
Yeah.
because anything that you do and anything that you don't do because of fear, it now has control,
Right. Right.
and no one should have control over you but God.
Mhm.
So we have got to really make sure that we're giving God his due, and we're not falling subject to small worries and concerns. This world is so much bigger than our worries and concerns.
Yeah. Yes. 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 That worry and people like, oh yeah, I'm worried about this. And I'm like, why? Stop. First of all, it hurts me even to hear the word anymore. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, stop it. Like, what are you worrying about?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because if we're praying, and I had to
Yeah.
understand that too, it's like, why are you
Yeah.
why are you worrying about it?
Yes. And praying.
And praying. I'm praying, but I'm still worrying about, I'm still holding on to
No.
this instead of
No.
like, okay, yeah, I'm giving it over and realize again, like my favorite saying now, it is above my pay grade.
Yep.
So let's move that out. And
Absolutely.
your time is spent someplace else. It's
Yes.
best placed someplace else right now. So while we're worrying about this over here, which you ain't got no business to worry about.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you change the word and say have a level of concern or
Yeah.
and like, yeah, same word.
Yeah. Oh
It's,
no!
it's a
Look, I love the way they try to pimp out the English language. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Out the English.
A level of concern. Okay.
Yeah,
Worry. That's worry.
that's
Okay.
all. It's just a synonym. Same vibration.
It's the same vibration. Okay.
Same vibration. Whether you think it's intentional or not, it's the same vibration, and it is low vibration. It is
It
negative.
is.
It is not
It is.
serving
Because
any.
if you're worried about something in someone, you don't trust their ability to handle it.
Yep.
You don't trust God's ability to guide through it.
Yep.
You don't, you have really, you believe now that this has gone beyond God.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't believe, I tell people all the time, God will touch them. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not worried about? No, I'm not worried about anything.
Yeah.
God is orchestrating this. I'm not.
Yeah. Like
All I'm doing is trying to get everybody aware that God is working right now.
all the time. Oh, even when you think they're not, because I'm like, yeah, trying to get out of that worry mindset or fear mindset is I tell you, it's a struggle every day for me, because I mean I'm getting better a little bit. However, it's you recognize, and I'm like, that's how I know that I'm doing some work.
Yes.
Because I can literally look at it within myself and be like, and see how much fear is there versus not, like God, like, yeah, no, let just go, chill out. You're I overanalyze, I overthink, you know what I mean? I know these things about myself, but what I wasn't paying attention to was that overthinking was creating a lower vibration in me.
Yes.
I already got the first thought in my mind of what I was supposed to do, but I had to go back over and over and over and over and over again. Instead of, okay, even if I didn't trust that, stop thinking, overthinking it, go get a confirmation. Run it by a spiritual advisor or whatever, or mentor, to say, hey, like, okay, yeah, because again, what's supposed to be for you is going to be for you.
That's
and
right.
Nobody can take it away from you. I don't care if it comes 100 years later. You're still alive. You're going to get it.
That's right. That's right.
You can be
So
like,
you don't have to chase it. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to worry with it. You don't have to do anything. Just work on you.
Just work on you. And that's the hardest thing, people. The hardest thing, the hardest thing, the hardest thing ever in life, I believe, for self.
Yes.
It's like, I got to pay attention to me. I got to work on me. I got to talk to me, or I got to look at me, or I got to deal with me. I got to be by myself. I got to do what?
Yes.
If I can't be with me, I can't expect anybody else around me to be there. If I can't be honest with me, which is, again, she'll tell you also when you're lying to yourself, ladies.
Yeah, I will.
And you don't even think you're lying. That's how deep we do it. We put this fear. That's how much it is embedded into our entire being, that somebody will tell you, and she is a psychic, ladies and gentlemen. So she's like, you're lying. I'm like,
you're lying.
I'm not. Okay. And you think you're trying to hide something and you're not. And then when you do the work, and it's like, whoa.
Maybe that's what she was talking about. Maybe that's what she was talking about.
My business. But it was like, once I did that and I started to be fully aware of myself, and I was just like, wow. And all I can do is apologize to myself.
Yes.
I think I do it now every day. Like, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. I thought, okay, so let's take something very simple. So my hair. So everybody see I've got some new hair. But prior to this, a couple of months ago, I went to a new stylist, right? And I was like, oh, my hair is unmanageable. Like, yo, her and I, we go through this whole type of thing. And they use some amazing products, right? And they was like, Nicole, I don't know what you're talking about. Your hair is so manageable. And they showed me. And I'm like, I have to apologize to my hair. And I said, girl, I'm so sorry. I apologize, because I love my hair, but I'm still putting a negative connotation on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I see your truth. My hair, ladies and gentlemen, my hair. I saw my truth in its natural state. And I was like, girl, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I've been up here. I've been putting on to you that you're this and you're that. And really, it could have just been my fear of doing it incorrectly.
Yes,
my fear of not looking the way it's supposed to look. My own fear, doing it wrong, damaging my hair, blah, 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 made me turn the whole thing into a negative understanding.
I did.
And it's not supposed to be a negative understanding.
And this is how this came to be, because they was like, "Oh, Nicole, you can get that done." I was like, "No, I've had friends for years." Let me flat iron you here, Nicole. Let me do. No, like, do y'all know what I got to go through with her? Like, it's a 2-day process to do it. I mean, this is what I'm. I mean, that level, and it's very, and this level is very basic, but it's very deep, because you can put that in every other aspect of your life. And just from a simple analogy of hair and what you think about your hair, and then when someone shows you something different, like yesterday, I was like, "Who the hell is this?"
Right.
And I'm like, again, hair girl, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. I did it.
I did it. And so saying that, being accountable to yourself and being more aware, and now I can fully start to love myself even deeper than I was before, because I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't doing it right, which then allows me to show people how to treat me.
And that's what we do when we're building. We're building, you know, like I said, you were young. I'm young. Humans are young. We're still really learning how to handle this world. And we will create excuses. We will create excuses for our negative talk. Oh, I was only negative because, but I don't care why you're negative. I just want you to stop it. You know what I'm saying? I have a wonderful approach. We have something called precision of language.
Yes.
And I will get you on that precision of language.
Yes.
This means, are you saying really what you need to say? Are you saying it in a manner it's going to be received?
Right.
You know, my good dear friend Ogunto Singh, who transitioned many years ago, he told me a story. He said, you know, if I write "I love you" on a cannonball and shoot it directly into your chest, are you going to feel "I love you"? Are you going to be looking at a big beep to beep hole in your chest? And I was like, I'd probably be looking at this hole in my chest.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, so there's a way to say everything, huh? I said, yeah, there's a way to say everything. And so I was like, I get it. Wow. I get it. Look.
That's powerful.
Look. I was like, I get it. I understand. It's okay. All right. Yeah. So when we stop and think about what we're saying, why we're saying it. So I'm not just speaking to hear myself speak. Yeah. I'm speaking to communicate. Yeah. So when you want to communicate, there may be words that you add that you wouldn't usually add. There may be words you take away that you use. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to hear myself. I want someone else to. And so when you have those desires to really reach out, to communicate, to be there for someone, then you let some of your own thoughts and feelings go and you focus on them. And this is how we get past fear. Getting past fear, and also there are many people that want to be, they can see someone else's fear. They can see someone else's hang up. They want to help them through. Let first thing, you gotta let go of your own ideas on this. Yeah. What ideas did you come to with this? Because I promise you, moving out of an opinion, trying to share your opinion with someone else, that doesn't work. But trying to share your feelings with that person does. Yeah. I feel this. I feel that. You can do that all day long. But your opinion's your own. Everybody got one. So even when working around fear or with people that have fear, don't get so caught up in the right and the wrong of it. Get caught up in the feeling. Yeah. Definitely. I love that. I love that. It's a beast, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. But once you really start diving into it, you realize it doesn't have any power unless you give it to it. Exactly. It doesn't have any power until you give it. And again, it's a struggle because you got to work to not give it the power every single day, and recognize when you are letting the fear creep in and be like, wait, no. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, wait, no. I didn't mean that thought. Let me replace that thought. Let me replace that word. Let me replace that feeling. Let me replace all the way down. Like, these are the constant things that are happening inside of Nicole. Because
I wasn't thinking about anything outside that box that I created.
Right. Right.
And
And you
then,
have a whole world out here waiting.
yeah, right. And I was just like, okay. Again, my
Yeah.
bad, girl. Like my bad, Nicole. Like I mean, I sincerely, apologize to myself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sincerely apologize. Like one day when I first was like, I gotta apologize to myself. I mean, boohoo, crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We're gonna work. We're gonna do better. We're
Yes.
gonna do better. We're not
Because
gonna
I
be
can do better. Because I
yeah.
can do better.
I
I
can
can.
and I want to do better. We gotta want to do it because when we want to do something, we know. So you have like teenagers, right? When they want something, they are persistent. Oh my
That's
God,
it.
they are not gonna stop until they get what they want.
Yes.
Do that for yourself.
That's right.
Want it, and then go after it. Get the help that you need. Get the positive influence, and block out all of the other craziness around you that's trying to stop. Because I guarantee you, once you start doing this, are you gonna have all the distractions in the world?
Oh yes.
To tell you
Every time you turn around,
anytime you
someone's gonna try to pull you off your mission,
yeah,
and you're like, I can't.
I
It's
can't.
too important.
Too important when, especially once you've gotten a glimpse of what that
Yes.
even looks like. It was like,
Yes. Yes.
and you'll start to recognize
Yes.
and be like, okay, I gotta block y'all out. Let me stay where I need to be.
That's right.
Because you're working on you to
That's
move
right.
yourself out of get these blocks out of your way.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take these fear blocks, move away.
Yep. Yep. You are correct.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. That was really good. I appreciate this time, this unapologetic conversation, which is what
Yes.
we're aiming for here.
Yes. Yes.
We're aiming for that, ladies. I have to do it. I just have to do it. I don't know why, but it's just like, yeah, no, okay. It's good because this is therapeutic for me also. So I'm taking it and I'm using all of the tools in my toolbox,
Awesome. Awesome.
adding more into my toolbox. And so again, if you guys desire a conversation with Mama Seven, please go ahead. She's at awonderfulapproach.com. She's on Facebook. Put it in the comments. I'll make sure I get it to her. She even has an email right there on her thingy. But yes, it's nothing like it. Nothing like it. She knows what her gift is, and she is fierce. It. She get and anybody that I can, a lot of my friends will tell you, I better call her. You better call her. You want some answers. You don't want to sit around here and walk around with blinders on anymore. You better call her. Now be careful because she will have you clutching your pearls, but it's a good thing. It is a good thing because that, to me, the gift to myself was speaking to her.
Amen.
So that was my first step in like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get down to business. And the business itself is really important. So thank you once again, Mama Seven.
Thank you.
We'll see her again. I can do a year worth of shows with this woman. And I think I'm going to do that because she's helping me and I'm helping her. And I'm so happy about that.
Awesome.
Thank you. Please, if you guys like this episode, please give me the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever the case may be. Reach out to me. And thank you once again. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace.